All right, I told you I'd give you a follow-up video to that hit. One, I hate the fact that this hit has ruined the series for me. Why has it ruined the series? Not because I hate hockey, not because I don't like big, tough hockey. I love it. But because we're in a position where the NHL has no idea what it wants to be or wants to do. And two, fans are completely polarized over this and we're just taking stances and dying on hills. And I get it. It is an emotional thing to do, but you do have to look at this situation pragmatically and with the scope of the entire NHL at large. Was it a good hit? Nope. Was it a major penalty? Doesn't matter what I think because it was assessed as a major penalty on the ice. It's over. It's done. They called it a major for charging. Read the rules for charging. Fits perfectly. Major assigned, 15 minutes. Will the NHL suspend? We don't know. We all know that the NHL wheel of suspension is random. Nothing of what I have said so far is debatable. This is just facts. You are allowed to have your opinion any which way you want on this subject. My opinion is I feel terrible for Jake Evans. It's awful to watch a man get stretchered off. I'm glad it's just a concussion as that's what it's been ruled at this point. He did not end up at the hospital at Winnipeg. He stayed with the team doctors. Good call because COVID's running rampant in our hospitals. He will end up being okay, but it is a very scary moment at the time. My opinion on the matter doesn't matter. What matters is what is happening in the NHL and what has been happening in the NHL for the last 10 years. I'm not even going to go back 20 years. There's no point. It's too old. The league was different. So what's happening in the NHL? Well, very simply, playoff hockey is being played. You may agree with it or disagree with it, but there is a subset of rules in hockey that when the playoffs get played, the rules get called differently and the whistles get put away. This is the third bad hit in the playoffs. This is the second stretchered hit. We have seen Kadri take out a head. We've seen a Boston Bruins player get his head taken out by a Capital. Orlov killed him. We have seen an accident to JT that was horrible. And now we have seen this hit by Scheifele, which ends up in Jake Evans being taken off in a stretcher. We're only in round 2. This is not uncommon in the NHL. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to walk you through a clip. The link will be down below of Crosby, McDavid, Kucherov, Draisaitl, endless superstars taking cheap, dirty, awful shots at other players because this is the NHL. And better yet, not better yet, worse yet, none of them were suspended for it. McDavid has never ever been suspended. So we're calling for criminal actions. Should go to jail. If that's your opinion on it, leave the comment down below, but I won't respond. He is not going to jail for this. No player is going to, it's never happened. There's been worse injuries in the NHL and worse hits. It doesn't occur. This is something the players have signed up for. Whoa, Ryan, nobody signs up to get a concussion. No, they don't. But they agree to the risk based on the past precedents and the way the rules are written in the NHL. I'm not talking minor hockey. Not talking junior hockey, talking National Hockey League. That's it. And the National Hockey League has a level of risk that players have agreed to. Oh, how are you victim blaming? I'm not. They've agreed to it. I'll walk you through pragmatically how they've agreed to it. How are the rules in the NHL established? They're established by the general managers at the annual Board of Governors meeting. They're established over the summer. Any general manager has the right to propose any rule, and the rule book is written on behalf of the general managers. The general managers take input from players through the collective bargaining process in the NHLPA. Those are the people that impact the rules. Fans impact the rules one way, with your wallet and your eyes. Fans only get to impact the rule by turning off the TV, turning off the stream, not clicking on social media, and quitting the NHL. If revenues decrease and growth doesn't continue to occur, we could argue for days that the NHL isn't growing fast enough for attracting new fans. I would say you're right. We could argue for days that the NHL isn't growing and attracting new fans because of these clown show rules. Check my Tom Wilson video above. Called them a clown show. The NHL is a clown show. But that doesn't pragmatically take away from what is actually occurring here. And what is actually occurring here is very simple and detailed to walk through. And I'm going to walk you through it. How do the rules get implemented? Let's go through 7 ways that the NHL actually ends up implementing rules and why tough hockey or this type of hockey is played. Number 1, the NHL general managers decide what rules they want to play with. The rules that go into the book are written by the general managers. They don't actually write them themselves, but they go ahead and make suggestions for these rules. When you read the rules in the NHL rule book, it's a really boring read. Basically, they are written to call whatever they want. They do. Please tell me what a cross-check is. It's very well defined, but it's only called if a player falls. Sometimes it's only called if he goes headfirst into the boards. What's boarding? Have no idea. It's called a violent check into the boards, but it's never called unless it's a check from behind or a cross-check. Not sure why. Do I like it? No, there's an opinion. I don't like the way that's called. But the way it is called is the way it's called, and all players ever ask for is consistency in the calls. Do they get it? Game by game, maybe, maybe not. But that's what they ask for. They just want to know what the rules are before they enter the ice surface. So, check from behind. Dangerous call. Ends up getting called a board. Boarding? Never called. Not properly anyway. Violent check into the boards. That's what it is. Open ice hits? Fully legal. Players have been hit harder and worse than this and assessed a 2-minute or no penalty because they're not hurt. If Evans isn't hurt on this hit, is there a penalty called? Maybe. Maybe it's 4 minutes. Maybe it's not 5. Who knows? Did the referees get this right? Probably. I think they did. The penalty was assessed as the rule is written. But the point I'm trying to make to you is that these rules are interpreted on a game-by-game basis and by the Department of Player Safety on a case-by-case basis, none of which have actual consistency. You're allowed to not like that. That is a fine opinion. I agree. I don't like it. But I still like this game. Not the game against the Habs and the Jets, the game of hockey under the National Hockey League. Number 2, the players don't want heavy fines or suspensions. The players are the second most important person in determining what is going to end up happening with these rules. The players collectively bargained through the Player Association a maximum $5,000 in fines because they don't want money taken away. Yes, we can absolutely make the argument that losing your career takes more money away, but the players didn't see it that way. At the very least, 51% of them didn't see it that way because that's how things pass in unionized environment. The players also collectively bargained to have lower suspensions. How do you know this, Ryan? Well, Rafi Torres was in the league for how long? Matt Cook was in the league for how long? Repeat offenders. Let's go to the modern era. Kadri's still in the league. He only got 8 games. Awful offender. Terrible, terrible cheap shot artist. The NHL allows these players to stay in, and it is not collectively bargained out. There's no outrage from the players on it. They're mad at the player. They're not mad at the system. And the problem is, this is the system. We're talking about the NHL. We're not just talking about Mark Scheifele here. Number 3, there's no rule in the NHL that says you must play the puck first. In the IIHF, there is. In the NHL, you are allowed to separate man from puck. You do not need to play the puck first. Yes, as a coach, I believe body checking is to separate man from puck. Yes, I believe in stick on puck first. But you are taught at the NHL level, and frankly at the hitting level from 13 all the way up, to skate through your opponent and watch his chest. Does Mark Scheifele think in the last 0.3 seconds that this is the best decision? We'll never know. Is my opinion he wanted blood and wanted to smoke him? Yep. But that's just an opinion. It doesn't mean that's what Mark Scheifele was going to do. Is it logical? For sure it's logical. Is it logical for anyone in the comments down below to tell me, no, he was just making a play on the puck to prevent a goal? It is. You cannot like it, but it is. Nobody knows but Mark Scheifele. My intent is, I think he was trying to hurt him. Well, at the very least, trying to hit him. But it's allowed in the game of hockey to play body first and not play the puck. In the IIHF, you must play the puck and then the body. Oh well, that's the rule. Nobody's asking for it to be changed other than the fans. Don't worry, we'll get to the fans. There are a lot of ex-players, not counting Sean Avery. He's a clown. His video was a clown. It's Sean Avery. But you got to show it and present it because it's going viral and everyone's looking at it and there's people agreeing and disagreeing with it. Mike Commodore victim blamed Jake Evans. Keep your head up. This is the game. Why? Well, very simply. He's been told since he was 13 years old that you have to protect yourself. The referees are there to punish, not protect. They're there to enforce the rule after the car wreck has happened, not keep you safe. That's not the way the rules are written. It's not preventative measures by referees. Yes, there's things they can do, but they don't do it. They let the boys play, as they say, especially in the playoffs. So he ends up going for the goal, wrapping around behind the net. Commodore says he should have skated it to the corner. Maybe he should have. Should have had his head on a swivel. Maybe he should have. Does it sound like victim blaming? No, it is 100% victim blaming. But this is the NHL. This is the rules the players have agreed to. Remember point 3. They've agreed to these rules as they are written. They have agreed to $5,000 fines. They've agreed to the suspensions the way they are. At least 51% have. And this isn't Evans' first time being carried off in a stretcher. This is the second time. It sucks. It's dangerous. The big thing to get out of the way here is we pray for Jake Evans. We feel horrible for Jake Evans. All of us do. Nobody should be like, yeah, this was the best. Some people will, but I don't. It's gross. It sucks. Doesn't make you feel good. This has ruined the series, in my opinion. It's the defining moment of the series. And I'm going to get comments down below. Ruined the series. You're a baby. I'm going to get comments down below saying you're victim blaming. It doesn't matter what the comments are below. You know what? I probably won't respond to these ones. Every opinion you need is in this video. So players have talked about protecting themselves forever. That's point 4. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It's just the facts as presented. Point 4.5. What's the first thing the Habs said? We're going to make his life miserable. You know there's a code coming back here. For sure there is. And it is this repeated cycle of the code that allows this to continue. And people will ask for it to happen, demand it happen. It's just the facts. I have no opinion on it. It's what's going to happen. If Mark Scheifele is not suspended, he's going to fight Shea Weber, or at least he'll be expected to. That will happen. Can Shea Weber deal out the same type of punishment to Scheifele that he did to Evans? Probably not. Worst case scenario is a broken nose. Does Mark Scheifele have to fight? Actually, no. Logan Stanley and Adam Lowry could step in on his behalf. They could. I don't know what will end up happening in this. If I was Mark Scheifele, I would fight Shea Weber. No problem. I'd take my just desserts. I know I laid that hit. It's bad. I will go out and drop the gloves. There's nothing else you can do about it. The bell is calling for you. Doesn't mean you have to agree with the way I would approach it, but that's how I would approach it if I was Mark Scheifele. Point 5. The NHL has a history of low punishment for this. Nazem Kadri got 8 games. He's a repeat offender. People are calling for more than 8 games on Scheifele to set an example. You're allowed to have that opinion. I can't tell you your opinion's wrong. It's not happening. Sorry. It's not going to be more than 5 games. There is a possibility where it's 0. There's a possibility where it's 1 or 2. We'll have to wait and see. Number 6. This is the 3rd bad hit in the playoffs. Orlov made a horrible hit to Boston. Kadri made a horrible hit to St. Louis. Scheifele makes a horrible hit to Evans. This is round 2. This is the playoffs. This is what the NHL is designed for. You don't have to like it, but the only thing you can do as a fan is turn it off. And will you? I bet Friday is the highest rated game in the playoffs. Everybody's going to be waiting to see what happens, regardless of if Scheifele's suspended or not. There are going to be expectations on that game, eyes on the games, and the NHL will be rewarded with dollars for clicks, because we're all clicking about this. If you're watching this video, you're clicking about it. You can turn me off all you want, but I'm not the NHL. I give no money to the NHL. You can downvote me too. I give no money to the NHL. It won't correct the problem. The only thing that the fans have control of is turning off their TVs, their streams, and their social media feeds on this. To move on from the NHL, because the only way the NHL will listen to you, the fans, and myself, is with their wallets. Hit on revenue. Do I think the NHL would grow better if it improved the rules? Yes, I do. But that's a topic for another video. Today, the NHL is going to take their short-term gain and run with it. And I have a video at the end of this that shows you tons of examples of the NHL doing that over the last 10 years. Why do you think this will be different? And then number 7, the proper penalty was assessed on the ice. It was a major for charging. NHL player discipline and suspension takes into account whether or not the refs got it right. And if the refs assessed a major penalty, there's a good chance that this actually ends up being lower punishment than what it was before. Elliot Friedman called it out. There's only been 4 suspensions for charging. This is a very weird scenario for the NHL. One was 4 games, 3 games, 2 games, 1 game. Could be anything. We know it's a phone call hearing, so we know it's not more than 5. So there we go. We have 0 to 4 based on league precedent of this. We'll see what it ends up being. So at the end of the day, none of our opinions on this matter. Our moral outrage is one thing, but the only way to actually make a change in the NHL is to turn it off. Are you going to do it? I'm not going to. I'm going to watch this series the whole way through. And it sucks for Habs fans and Habs fans on this channel that it just feels confrontational now. I just wanted a good series, and I'm going to and was going to follow the Habs the whole way through if they beat the Jets. I was going to laugh with all you guys, eat crow, and say, hey, the Habs won if they won. Huzzah! No problem. It's just a game. And this puts a huge sour taste in most Habs fans' mouth. I get it. I had a sour taste in my mouth last year when Mark Scheifele got his ankle kicked in by Matthew Tkachuk, cutting his Achilles with a skate. Nobody said boo about it. Incidental contact. Nope, he picked up his foot and kicked him. You don't believe me? Google the hit. Scheifele, Tkachuk, foot up. Tell me what you think. Doesn't matter if you agree with me or disagree with me. That's my opinion, and you're allowed yours. Have I given you an opinion on the Scheifele hit yet? No, I haven't. You'll come to the conclusion I have, but I have not. Then let's talk about safety and the player's commitment to safety. It's very easy to take a look at what the players want out of this in terms of player safety. Players don't get on the board of safety until they see catastrophic injuries happening to themselves. What do you mean? Players are wearing half visors in a league where they can skate more than 30 kilometers an hour with a weapon in their hand, knives in their feet, and a black rubber disc moving 100 miles per hour. They accept that risk. They wear their chin straps 2 inches too low so that their helmet immediately pops off, not preventing concussions in the least, or at least as good as it can be, because a chin strap around the actual bottom of your chin impedes something, or it just feels weird. They take ear protectors out of their head. Ask Brian Little. Would that have saved his career? I don't know. But he was missing a piece of protection because he's allowed to take it out, and now he's not playing hockey anymore. Did this helmet pop off because an elbow hit it? Hard to tell because, frankly, the helmets are never on properly anyway. All players. Very few tighten that chinny. There's no three-point strap. If you want to prevent concussions, and that's what this injury was, a concussion, three-point straps help a lot. Chin, here, back to your ears. But that would require a cage. And oh my God, God forbid we wear a cage on the ice. We'll look like a bunch of silly nannies. Doesn't need to happen. Impedes vision. Blah, blah, blah. The players have decided they don't want to wear it. Beer leaguers decide they don't want to wear it. They take the risk. It's their risk to take. Who am I to tell them what to do? Who are you? It's their game, their money, their wallet. Mouth guards are not mandatory. Player option. Some players chew it out the side of their mouth like Scheifele. Some don't wear it. Some do. Big deal in preventing concussions. Not this concussion. It would have happened no matter what. Evans would have been concussed regardless. His brain went forward and hit his skull cavity. But mouth guards are optional. Neck guards are optional. These are all important pieces of equipment to avoid catastrophic injury, but they accept it. Suspensions are low because players asked. Fines are low because players bargained it. Players have a big say in this, and they've decided this is okay. As a fan, your say is to turn off the TV. I'm not being one of those ruthless guys that says, you don't like it, don't watch it. That's not what I'm saying. You don't like it, voice your opinion, but the only way your opinion will matter to the NHL is by turning off the TV. And that sucks because we love hockey and there's nowhere else to watch hockey. This is a monopoly. I like the double IHF rules better. I do. The double IHF rule says very plainly that you cannot initiate body contact unless you are playing the puck. Let's bring it back to that. I've seen a ton of comments. He didn't even play the puck. He doesn't have to. It's not in the rules. And why is it not in the rules? We've just explained all of it. We're going to go in a circle. But you are allowed to separate man from puck and you are allowed to play the body. Kids are coached and players are coached to watch the chest and go through the chest. You do not have to play puck first. As a coach, you do instruct stick on puck. Stick on puck's a good idea, but you don't have to as a player. It's not in the rules. Just because it's good fundamental hockey doesn't mean it's illegal. He doesn't have to play the puck. He may think in that 0.3 seconds that the best thing he can do at this point is blow him up. He also may think in those 0.3 seconds that I want to hurt you. And he may think in those 0.3 seconds of making the hit. And why I say 0.3, I know he had the whole ice, but his decision was made at the hash marks. He may turn away. He may dive at it. But why would he dive at the puck? He could prevent a goal, but then he's going headfirst into the post or headfirst into the boards. Or if he continues skating, as I've seen clips, keep skating. Into what? He's running out of room. So then he still blows up Evans because he's skating and momentum is momentum. He goes into the post or into Evans. Everybody crane wrecks into the boards and it's even worse. That's a possibility. Nobody's talking about that? I'm not smoking crazy pills. That absolutely could have happened. Come on, keep skating. Of course he should keep skating to prevent the goal. Of course he could dive, but he also could do what he did. And a penalty was assessed for it. He made a decision. There are a lot of outcomes at this when you play the game at this speed, and very few people watching this video play the game at this speed. So in short, it sucks. It's ruined the series for me anyway. It ruins the series for Habs fans. It's part of the playoffs. There's no opinion anybody can give where everybody's going to be on board and say this is the way to go. I agree the referees should change the rules. No, not the referees. I agree the NHL should change the rules. The referees do a fine job. But that's up to the NHL. And that's up to the players. And I'm not going to tune out of hockey because they don't want to change something that they are risking. I'm not the one getting hurt. They have made this decision. And if you need further proof, because I hear this last comment, the NHL is trying to get this out of the game. Is it? Is it? Link down below. 14 minutes of Kucherov, Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid, Draisaitl, Eichel taking cheap, dirty shots to players trying to injure them. Period. None of them were suspended. Kadri got 8 games. He's still in the league. Are they actually trying to get it out of there? I don't think so. That's a pragmatic opinion. All you got to do is watch the tape. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of that tape. So I heard somebody say, show the full clip. You're a baby because you didn't. I don't want to get demonetized. I like this channel. I'd rather keep it. So we have to show still clips. Tough luck. Here's Kucherov ending up running Toby Enstrom into the boards. Hold on. He took an entire distance of the ice. The entire distance. This is a dumped in puck, just like Scheifele. Full head of steam, stopped skating 20 feet before the hit, gliding into it, but he's still fast. What does he do? He could have played the puck, but he's seeing Toby Enstrom's back, and he ends up, well, pancaking him into the boards head first. There you go. Jumping, leaving his feet from behind, head first into the boards. No suspension. Here's Kucherov again. There's a Columbus Blue Jacket down on the ice. He's down. What does Kucherov do? Oh, I don't know, just wholesales him into the boards while he's defenseless and down? No suspension. Nothing. Here's 97, Connor McDavid. Classy guy, right? I don't know. Or is he just playing tough hockey? I also don't know. It's dirty hockey. Maybe. Let your opinions know down below in the comments. Defenseless player, doesn't see him coming. He's about to go headfirst into the boards. There you go. Great hit, right? Not suspended.
A lot of the number.
Oh, there's Nick Leddy of the New York Islanders passing the puck, and 97's coming through down low with a big elbow to the head. There's the aftermath of that elbow. Spinning around full speed by one of the fastest players in the game, elbow to head. Pattern for McDavid, it seems. Here's one Hab fans will remember. How about that McDavid elbow right here? There it is. Elbow up, right to the chin, targeted the head. No suspension, $5,000 fine. Here's Sidney Crosby, knee on knee with TJ Oshie. Sticks out his leg purposely, can absolutely end a career. Nothing.
Crosby.
Perfect knee on knee. Oshie was hurt. We all know he's still playing, but it's the NHL. Here's Sid the Kid again. Game's ambassador. Nut shot to Ryan O'Reilly. Not even paying attention. Goes down. That's gross. What else are you trying to do other than injure a man if you do this? Here we go, another Crosby slew foot, no suspension. And a slew foot is very dangerous. You crack your head on the ice, you tear your knee, you tear an ankle. Can be just as deadly as that hit to Jake Evans. Oh, here's a clip of Leon Draisaitl nutting a San Jose Shark, purposely, not accidentally, 2 hands up right in the biscuits. Here's one I'm sure people will say he deserved. Matthew Tkachuk getting slew-footed by Draisaitl. Dangerous hit. I don't like Tkachuk either. I don't. But this hit was allowed, wasn't suspended. Here's Alexander Ovechkin leaving his feet 2 feet high to target the head. Not suspended. This is one of the most dangerous players in the game. Big, tough body, 6'4", 230 pounds of pure speed, locomotive train. Dirty hit. Here's Pasternak, hero of the playoffs right now, if the Bruins win the cup. Puck's up in the air. What's he do? Only jumps 3 inches off the ice and elbow to the head. And those are just superstars. We haven't even shown the goons or the guys in the mid squad that are trying to do this. The point I'm trying to make is not to tell you I agree with this type of hockey or not to tell you that this is good hits or good tough hockey. It's to tell you that the NHL accepts it. That's the facts. The NHL accepts this type of behavior because they continue to allow it to happen because it affects revenue if they don't, in their opinion. So what will happen to Mark Scheifele? Let's let the Department of Player Safety figure it out. And if you were really against plays like this and checks like this, I don't know what you're going to do because the only option you have is to turn it off, and that sucks. Write a letter? Send a tweet? That's all engagement. You let me know down below what you're going to do. I'll see you guys for Friday. Let's just hope it's a better game. I want to see a good game. Win or lose. Go Jets, go Habs, go hockey.